My name is Novel Chegou. I am a professor in the Division of Immunology in the Department of Biomedical Sciences at Stellenbosch University. So I am an immunologist by profession, and my work is focused on what we call biomarkers for TB. So biomarkers are basically any characteristic, something that you can measure in the body. So immunology is the study of the immune system of the body, how the body responds to an infection or a condition that is going on, and basically how the body protects itself. So other than tuberculosis, we immunologists work in diverse fields. It can be cancer research, it can be HIV, parasitic infections, almost everything every other field has some aspect of immunology involved. I don't think many people know how difficult it is to figure out whether somebody has TB or not. There are some TB types that are easier to diagnose than others, but even that easier type, results only come back within 2 weeks, like in 2 weeks. And then if you want to do what we call the gold standard test, the test that tells us you definitely have TB or you don't have TB, it may take up to 42 days before you get the result. So what we do in my group is we try to develop tests that are easier to administer, tests that can be used at what we call the point of care, that is at your health center, and then within 20 minutes can tell you that you have there's a high chance that you have TB. And if that test is positive, then the management can change. Being in clinical research, it's work that you cannot do alone, really. So I work on, like I said earlier, I work on biomarkers for TB. So with that, you need a clinician, somebody who is trained as a medical doctor. You need nurses to look after patients. Sometimes some of the studies that we do are based in the community, so we need drivers to go to the community, pick the patients from there and bring them for special investigations that we do. And then when they come to campus, then we do things like various scans, and we use various medical specialists. And then some of the work that I do again involves the development of tools like point of care tests that we can use for diagnosing TB or monitoring how treatment is going on, whether treatment is working or not. So for that, for example, I supervise 3 engineering students right now. So what we see in the lab, we look at these molecules that the body produces. When we see over and over that this molecule is associated, for example, with TB, then we ask an engineer, can you put this onto a device that we can use? And as we work with many people, there are data scientists, there are people who do bioinformatics that need to look at the data. And it's a broad, big team. It's a big team that we work with, big team of researchers, not just people who did biology, but most of the other science areas. Even in some cases, we work with even people who do the social sciences, depending on the research project, because you go to the community, you need to know how to interact with people, and so we involve a lot of partners. We have a lot of partners in what we do. So I was born in Cameroon, in a small village called Ajay. I think at the age of 6, just around the age of 6, I lost my mom. When I was still in primary school, I just started primary school really. And then by the time I got to the age of about 14, my dad died. My older brother had to drop out of school to start looking after me. And then even so, along the way, it seems like God had placed people along different steps of the way. I would go to, by the time I was going to high school, I went with one of my cousins, told me, just come, you can stay with me, because we could not afford to pay rent where the high school was. And so I managed to stay with somebody and finished high school. By the time I was going to university, I had to go and live with a relative as well for free. And I used to walk long distances. And if those people were not there, there's no way that anything would have happened. The good thing about where I studied is that in Cameroon, education, you don't pay much for education really. It's not always easy. I think just focus on yourself, try to work hard, All what many people want to see sometimes is just to see that it's somebody that can work hard, that if I invest in this person, this is somebody that will make use of the money, will make use of the effort that I'm going to put into the person. So you never know. Just instead of giving up, put your everything into working hard to make sure you achieve that dream that you have in your mind.